There are not too many of us today, so I have a pleasure to actually evaluate your speech. I have some notes, but thank you for the speech itself. I actually started using mind maps itself, so it was pretty obvious what you will be presenting for me, but nevertheless it was some content that I would really appreciate to learn about more. What I can say that you do really good is that you show how it works in the real life, so you show an example and how you are creating one of the maps. What is more, at least on this screen, you are even more confident than you are normally on the stage here. Thank you for the introduction. So basically, the structure of the speech itself was really good. There was introduction, how you start, and why are you doing it this way. And of course, you have some summation of your whole speech. So you actually, at least, you convinced me why I should do it this way. And together with my colleagues, we also realized that you actually were speaking even slower than usually, so it was easier to understand what you were talking for non-native speakers. For the things that you can improve, they're mostly the technical stuff. So first of all, you put some part of the screen on the side. There is a part of the window and some side of the doors, and the background is not. It's not filled with one color. So there are several things that actually bring our attention out of you. What is more, you sit for some part of the speech and you start turning to the board itself. You could just put them on a proper height so you actually can speak to me and just for the seconds write something and then explain to me instead of looking down and showing something at the height of your legs. Another problem is that it's great that you show us that you are using it in real life, but I cannot see anything on this board. I actually would prefer to see what's written here because it will give me more perception on how you are doing it. One thing that actually I done this time is that you actually lost the eye contact with me. Basically, there was several times when you were looking at the board instead of looking directly to the camera. So actually, wasn't that into your topic itself. I would say that at the end you also said that we invite you, and on the stage there's only you. So I'm not sure about who you were talking about. You could just say that I invite you for the next episode. You can work a little bit with the light because it's your flat, but it was a little bit dark. It's like the wrong side of the stage itself. What is more, you made some voice sounds that actually, if you will sit together with us, we will probably use xylophone to notice that okay, you're a little bit maybe nervous or something like that. Something that you are not doing here pretty often. What is more, what can I tell you? The last thing that I can say is that actually you told us that it will be a podcast, but you actually record a video, so it's like a vlog. At least for me, there's a huge difference between vlog and podcast. Podcasts are something that I usually listen when I'm going to work or on a trip. So basically, I'm not able to see the screen itself. Therefore, there's no point in drawing something. Either you should create a vlog and tell us from the beginning of the speech that it's a vlog, and you should make some just make the screen with the writing bigger so I can read it, or just make a podcast so it should be totally okay to listen without the screen. And therefore, as you was writing something on the screen during the speech, I could not see it what we were writing there. So that's basically all of the things that we noticed on your talk. Hope you will like it and you find something for improvement for the next stage. And see you next week on the Toastmasters. Thank you.
Woohoo!